You are listening to Just Roll With It. Jonathan is your lore master. Christine plays the channeler Amena Valare. Neil plays the Ogier Quercus son of Ilex. Aradia plays the channeler Pimur Dothorin Akel. And Fate plays the Child of the Light, Lance Akashi.
So you just heard the noise. The door shook a little bit.
I'm going to turn back to our Ogier friend and, sir, can you, go first, please?
Okay. I'll look at his sword and cloak and, aren't you supposed to be the brave one? I'm a researcher, but I will grudgingly move forward and...
So can we say that as I was examining this gun and getting the bullets that I loaded it?
Hindsight 2020?
Yeah. Can we just say that that was happening?
Does that mean you want to go ahead?
This time I'll say yes. You're going to have to be on the point from now on, but yes, we can say
Okay.
as you were playing with it, you loaded it. For the playtest, we are saying that it takes 2 full rounds to reload a pistol. It does significant amounts of damage, but we also have to realize that it's D&D, so 12 seconds to reload a black powder weapon is ridiculously fast, but in D&D terms, it's just long enough that you'll probably not want to use it again in that combat.
Right. And I get 1, right? I haven't done my gun research. It's 1 shot that goes in these
Yes.
guns. So yeah, I'm like, ooh, bear? Can I try this on a bear? That'd be great. I see Lance, addressing the Ogier like he's the one that should go first, and I'm slightly miffed.
Are you rushing past me? Is that what you're saying?
I'm going ahead of you. I'm trying to not rush, but I'm totally rushing past. Yeah. I'm trying to take what you said to heart, but it hasn't really sunk in yet. I've still got all the adrenaline.
Right. Okay.
And so it's coming from the door to the north, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so... But the door hasn't opened yet. It just banged?
It just shook, yes.
Okay, can I see if there's like a lock or a, bar across the door or anything that would indicate that it's not supposed to be opening?
That noise indicates that maybe it shouldn't be open.
So as you walk up to examine the door, it is much thicker and sturdier than the other doors you've seen so far, and there is a large metal padlock.
Ew. I don't know, guys. Do you think we should open it?
No.
After
This all makes
no.
perfect sense.
after the Ogier called me out on being scared, I'm right there with you, Pimur.
Although, I don't know. What if something in there is trapped and is desperate to get out? And then if we let it out, it'll be like really grateful and do something nice for us.
Okay, I think
Perhaps.
you think your faith in animals is a bit
we
much.
swap worlds here?
I'm just wondering.
Do you think...
Does it look like... Sorry,
So,
go ahead.
Do you think your bear illusion could fool another bear?
Could make a bear noise through the door.
I mean, maybe the illusion I'd be concerned because it's not going to smell like a bear and it won't make any movements or any sounds. So I don't think a real bear would be fooled for long by something like that.
In that case, if we open the door, we should have some 1-power spell maybe to catch it. I don't like opening the door on a bear that's about to jump out at me.
And we
I could
could
tie
leave
it up with flows
closed
of
if you guys wanna
air.
be boring.
Yes. Perfect.
Yeah. All right. Let me embrace the source.
We're gonna let a bear out just for funsies.
Shh. Focusing. I am a flower. Okay, the source is embraced. I'm ready.
Okay, so I'm gonna go up to the door and fuck, it's got a padlock on it. How am I gonna open this?
Shoot it with your
Channel it
gun.
open. Dude, don't waste a bullet. Channel it open. Now's
Okay,
your
so
time to
what-
shine.
Okay, so I feel like I read about this one time that this one channeler like made a crowbar out of air and like used that to crack open a chain. I feel like that might have happened once. So
Or I read about this other channeler that used like a weave of air just to go into the hole of the lock and shift everything around and open it that way.
oh, I wonder if I could do that.
Or you could even insert the air and then try and make an explosion, presumably.
Oh, I like
Just
the way you
small
think. Okay.
explosion that will blow the lock apart.
Okay. And if there's other people here, then we don't want them to hear the explosion. So we need like a wall of air to like hold the sound in.
It's getting very complicated. Why don't you just try to pick it first and see if that works?
Okay, I'm going to attempt to use air to pick the lock.
Okay, so for playtest purposes, how would you like to...
So I think it needs to start with the Arcana check to see if you can get the right shape and everything. And then it would be a sleight of hands because it's lockpicking.
Okay, so go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
Because for our particular universe, we need to be able to create the object that we want to and then be able to use it.
Okay, so I got 14 for Arcana.
It's not great, but it might work.
Okay, so then what was the other one that I have to do?
Sleight of hand.
Sleight of hands. Sleight of mind. 23.
Oh, dude.
Okay, so
Nice.
you embrace the source, pissed off and you're angry that you have to have the source. You're just kind of flailing around with the air in there, and you can hear the tumblers inside kind of clicking, and then something shifts, and the big padlock just kind of goes click.
All right, guys. So I very carefully pull the padlock out, back up out of the swing of the door, and get ready to see what happens the next time this bear hits this door. Assuming the bear has been hitting the door.
Is anybody else doing anything else?
I'm just preparing to channel air, and I'm trying to keep my calm Aes Sedai face, but I'm like sweating a little.
Does the door open towards us or away from us?
Towards you.
I'm gonna step
Yes, we're
back from the
back
door.
Good idea.
I have stepped further back, but just out of out of everyone's sight, so I get a shot on the door with my longbow. But I'm also wondering, we have the plan to catch the bear in air, but
Yeah.
what actually was the objective of releasing the bear in the first place?
To find out what else is in the room and what the bear could possibly be guarding.
You said that a bear was the thing that harmed the dogs, and the dogs came and attacked us. We have the bear.
We should attack the bear. That makes total sense.
We'll avenge the dogs that we killed.
Or the bear is our friend? Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm all kinds of ready to try out my shiny new toy, my shiny new weapon, as someone maybe has said once.
All right, let me do something here real quick. I am just trying to
Roll to see if the bear is stupid enough to mess with us.
roll for bear. That's something you'd hear in Seattle, actually, but that's a separate thing. Actually, no, give me just 1 second. I am trying to fix poor Quercus. Aha.
Was I right?
Yes, essentially.
Essentially, that's a yes or a no question. Was the Child of Light correct?
Yes, the Child of Light was correct. For some reason, I don't know how I did that. But there. Now Quercus should be able to move himself and see his character sheet.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so the door does swing open.
That is a very large check. Instantly regrets life decisions.
You're not sure how the bear got in there. It's too large for the door, but it is definitely standing right there, kind of ineffectively swiping. And it's a very large bear.
Yeah,
It's a very large bear.
a very large bear.
So, I mean, are you holding it, or should I just start shooting at it?
I am getting ready to like whoosh, got all these flows of air, and I'm like whoosh, moving them toward the bear to bind it all up. And what do I roll? Arcana?
What spells do you have?
To flow my air. To use the air as a thing, don't I have to?
No, yes, you're right. No, that's right. Yeah. Give me an Arcana check.
That is a 20.
Okay. Stop me, Fate, at any point if this sounds wrong. With that Arcana check, you would be able to start flowing the air around you. I just don't know that you would have the ability to completely wrap a giant-ass bear in air. That rhymed, unfortunately. But why don't you go ahead and give me an attack roll, and if you beat the bear's AC, then we can say that it actually... You got it wrapped up.
All right, attack roll. That is a 20.
So yeah, that the bear starts lunging, and then it's not frozen per se, but it's definitely wrapped, so it looks like it's trying to move, and it can't, and it is not happy. Its mouth is flailing around. You can almost feel the spittle, like Beethoven style, like coming out of its mouth.
Gross.
It is very, very angry, but you are currently holding it.
I am. And then can I just like tie off the weave?
What was your, how are you doing tied off weaves? Fate, was there a roll involved, or is it just something they can do?
I completely forgot that tied off weaves were a thing. So you roll with it how you want, Lore Master, and I'll work on it.
Concentration checks aren't a thing in 5e.
No, but you could make a concentration check out of either wisdom or intelligence.
Well, if spellcasting, if what we talked about is strengthen the
Yes.
power, okay. So why don't you go ahead and give me just a straight wisdom check, Amena.
Okay. That is. Oh, what? Can't see it. Oh, only a 12? Really?
I will say for now it's tied off. How do I describe it? Basically, it's not a very clean tie.
Mm-hmm.
Like you feel like it could fall apart, but you've got it for now.
Okay. And I apologize. I rolled that with advantage by mistake. I forgot to move it back to normal.
Oh, I was just taking the first number anyway. But
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Cool.
it's all good.
Alrighty.
So we can move around the space to move around the bear in that.
Yeah, should we do that? Should we try to sneak around the bear?
I mean, I don't think we're going to get a whole lot out of asking it questions.
And I don't know that sneaking is going to work.
It can see you, so sneaking wouldn't be very easy.
I mean, we could kill it, but is it restrained in any other ways, or like a collar on it, or anything like?
There is not, but as you're, just go ahead and give me a quick perception check.
14.
Okay, so the door swung in, or the door swung out towards you, and you're able to see that on the back of the door, like huge, just like gouges in the backside of the door. There are curlicue ribbons of wood scattered all over the floor. It looks like it's been shredding this door for a while. The inside, you see straw, you see crates, you see barrels. It looks like maybe some kind of storeroom, but there's nothing on the bear itself that looks like it was restrained at all.
And does it look like it's been getting enough to eat? Is it a skinny bear?
It's very sweet of you.
No, I'm wondering if it's like the dogs.
That's a good point.
It does not look... It's not a small bear. It would be hard for you to tell if it was malnourished at all, because they go malnourished all through winter. But it is odd that it is not hibernating.
Right, and it's not like skin and bones.
Right. It's not skin and bones starving.
Is it injured at all?
Okay.
Does it have like a little thorn in its paw or something? Like, is there...
Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Okay. 15.
So you see it's now that it's held and you can kind of look at it without freaking out that there's a giant bear in front of you. You see dried blood. You see what looks like maybe some slashing marks along its flanks. So it's taken some injuries. It doesn't look like it slowed it down much at all. But somebody was trying to do something.
Oh. I wonder if it's possible that they were bear baiting, if they were using those dogs in a fight with a bear. Because they both have very similar injuries.
Right. Like, could those wounds have been inflicted by dogs? A pack of large dogs?
Or could someone have cut the bear to make it bleed to entice the dogs to attack it if they were hungry?
Oh, yeah.
Or at least to make the bear angry enough that it wanted to kill anyone who came through these set of passages.
Yeah.
I'm really interested to know what's behind it. Is it guarding something, or is this just the prison it's been left in?
You can't tell from here.
Could we get around it without getting bitten?
It's being held by right now, so it can't even move. Like, it's kind of doing this thing where it's trying, but you are able to see Amena's weave. You can see that it's tied off. But basically, imagine that if there is an invisible bow tie of the power sitting near this bear, the bow tie is not very tight, and every time it's struggling, it's kind of shaking. So you're not 100% convinced that the weave isn't going to fall apart, but right now it couldn't bite you if it tried.
Okay, well, I want to go in and sort of skirt past it and see what is beyond it in the room.
Okay, so go ahead and give me, I'm going to say, an acrobatics check to try and slip by the bear as best you can.
20.
Nice.
All right, so let me...
I'm very agile. To sort of just go around the bear, and it's a empty chamber. Or it's a closed-off chamber.
Stacked against the walls of this storage area are a dozen or so empty crates and a similar number of empty casks.
Empty crates and casks. Do they smell of any particular thing that used to be in them?
Go ahead and give me a perception check.
10.
Some smell of dirt and earth. The casks smell like stale alcohol. So they must have been storage for something.
So it's just a boring, empty storeroom with a giant bear trapped in it.
Can we knock the bear out? Like, do we have anything that we could make it ingest that would maybe knock it out so we could more closely inspect the bear?
You could thunder wave it repeatedly.
The other thing that you can do that's never going to get old is if you declare that you're doing non-lethal damage to something when you attack it, then we go through the same motions. We do the same rolls. We do the same damage, but it's you're doing damage with the intent of knocking it unconscious as opposed to straight killing it.
Okay, should we do that?
We could just leave it here. I mean, it's stuck behind this door.
Yeah.
In the room, is there any sign of, like, struggle? Like, has someone been shoving dogs in here and making them fight it out? Or...
There's signs of struggle, but mostly signs of a very large wild animal kept in a very small room. So a lot of the crates are smashed to pieces. You can see claw marks in the stone walls.
Okay, what about, like, in the ceiling? Is there, like, anything, like, an opening in the ceiling? I'm so confused how this bear got in here and is existing. Like, I don't know.
There's nothing in the ceiling. It just looks like it's a slab of solid stone.
Okay, well, I'm going to scoot back out of the room past the bear because that is not going to hold forever.
Give me another acrobatics, please.
19.
Yeah, you're quite dexterous. You're able to dip and dodge and weave, and the bear is still not happy, but there's nothing he can do about it.
Okay, so like we could literally just close the door and refasten the padlock and go on our way.
I mean, we could, but you bring up a really interesting point. How did a bear that size get into a room like that if there's no other entrance that could accommodate it? So is this actually a bear, or could it be somebody who's capable of creating a mask of mirrors who wants us to think it's a bear so that we'll leave?
I mean, they could have also just gatewayed a bear in here.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, you with the sword, poke it.
Okay. I'm going to walk up and I'm going to dancing strike it.
Okay, roll me an attack.
Just to see if it hits like a bear.
7.
Seems a bit brutal.
7 will miss.
It's tied up and lying
It
on the
keeps
ground.
yelling at me and I don't know why it's tied up. It's not moving and it's screaming at me.
I'm going to walk past him and feeling slightly sorry for the bear at this point. Just sort of reach out with my great axe handle and prod it. I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just trying to touch it. That's all.
It meets resistance. There's something physically there.
Can I sense any channeling or anything coming from the bear or anywhere nearby?
Go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
10.
There is nothing.
Okay.
The other possibility is that this bear has just been kept imprisoned here for sport since it was young enough to be dragged in here. It can't get out. It's just been raised in here for fun.
That's so mean.
Yeah. There's not large piles of, like, animal feces,
Scat?
I think is the correct scientific term for that.
The room reeked of it, but you didn't see any.
Oh, okay, so maybe they're, like, cleaning it out. Yeah, this feels very... I'm starting to feel more sorry for the bear than threatened by it.
Me too.
Yep.
Is there anything that we can do to sort of calm it down and help it to relax?
I have an idea.
What?
Well, we could retreat to a safe distance down the passage, get ready to seal ourselves in behind the other door to the south, and then when I say we, I mean you two channelers try blasting a small section of the stone near the gate so that the passage is large enough for the bear to run out. It's so enraged that it'll likely run out straight out of the tunnels, and we would just be safe behind the other door.
That's true, but before we do that, can we bandage up its wounds and maybe we have those extra rations that we took off of the bad guys? Maybe we can give it some food too, as a gesture of goodwill.
I agree.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm just like wondering at what point all this noise is going to bring other bad guys.
That's why we should feed it.
I think we should just shut the door and go on our way.
I think kindness begets kindness, and we should at least try to do something kind for this poor, beleaguered bear.
We'll come back after we're sure it's safe.
Well, you can go ahead if you want to. If you'd like to be a coward and run away, then that is your prerogative.
Oh.
However, I choose
Nobody calls
to
me
do
a coward,
something
Amena.
to help this poor, pitiful bear.
I will guard the passage while you perform good humanitarian works like the blue you want to be.
Thank you.
You've not noticed the deep frown on my face as I'm looking at you, Pimur, after I stuck up for you before. I'm disappointed. Disappointed in you.
Yeah, well,
His ears are like going like this, like crazy,
Yeah.
or twitching.
all I'm saying is we have a lot of priorities that we're juggling right now, and this bear is maybe not the most important thing.
And your priorities so far seem to be obtaining weapons.
Yeah. I fail to see how this is an insult.
Wow. All right, Quercus. I mean, it looks like it's just the two of us doing this. So what do you say? Should we bandage up the wounds on the bear, get some food ready,
Yes.
and then get to a safe distance?
Yes.
Okay, let's do it.
I'm with you on this plan.
All right. Thank you.
Right, so we just deliver the food.
Who is going to feed the bear?
I have 10 of these berries that provide nourishment and healing that last 24 hours, so I'll put a couple of those down in front.
Okay, are you setting them down in front of the bear, or are you like putting them in the bear's mouth while it's still tied
I'll
up with
put
air?
them in front, hoping that the bear will be distracted slightly by them as well, and that will provide more time for us to escape behind the next door.
Yeah, and I'll take out some of the dried meat and stuff from there. I mean, bears are omnivorous.
Yep.
So really, I just kind of put down like some granola and some dried meat and whatnot.
Okay.
What is Lance doing at this point?
Lance is looking at the bear, watching you begin to go, or whoever go up and feed it, and looking to see when it starts to actually move, because I still don't know what's holding it up. My exposure to the one power and weaves is not very much.
Seeing Lance's look of confusion and anxiety, I'm gonna kind of lean over and be like, "It's the power. Don't worry about it. She's got it."
As you say that, go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
Thanks a lot.
Oh, okay.
I'm just kidding.
9.
24 for a nat 20.
Okay. At this point, this is mostly just flavor, because this is not at all how I planned it, and this is amazing. You watch it slowly kind of start to come up, and you're basically able to quickly channel again, and you're like, nope, tighten it here, do this here, kind of
Yeah.
tie it a little bit better. And so you basically save it from collapsing in on itself, and you're able to maintain it. And the bear had started to be able to twitch, and now it's back to its sort of frozen form.
Yeah.
Right, and I kind of like tensed up, and then I saw that you got it, and I like relaxed again. I'm like, yeah, no, she's got it. It's totally fine.
Yeah. All right. So do we roll anything for the healing of the bear and the feeding of the bear?
Roll me an animal handling check to see
Both of us, or just
whoever wants to be healing the bear.
Both of us.
both?
9.
Nice. Okay.
Come on. Yes.
Natural
I'm-
22.
Those trees are overrated. I'm sticking with animals for now.
Should have been a zookeeper. You get close and you kind of soothe the bear a little bit, and you got basically antiseptic wipes or something similar, and you're able to kind of put a slight bandage on some of the wounds. It's looking at you. I want to describe it like the Puss in Boots, like the Shrek Puss in Boots kind of look, like its eyes are kind of wide. It's kind of looking at you, and it stopped freaking out, and it's just kind of watching you now. It's gone from kind of the angry, just violent thing to like, this thing is helping me, I don't know how to react to this, and it's definitely started to chill out a little bit.
Okay. So at this point, we rush off down the passage to a safe distance before we can blow the wall slightly further apart.
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea. And I think maybe, Pimur, would you be more skilled at doing something like this? Because you love blowing things up.
I do love blowing things up. If we're doing this plan, I'm happy to help with concussive force. That's fine.
Roll me. Oh, good goodness. Let's do a investigation check.
23.
Okay. So the way the door swings in, it's the supports for the door that are blocking too much of the passage. If you get rid of the door, so like if you heat up the hinges or somehow or other rip the door off the frame, the bear will have enough room to squeeze by. Barely, but he should be able to do that.
Barely.
That one was for Lance, wasn't it?
I plan ahead a little bit.
I hate you so much.
Okay, so I guess, can I apply... I don't really want to do something neat and tidy. I want to blow this thing apart.
Before you do this, might it not be a wise idea for the rest of us to retreat further down the passage toward the door so that we can open it and you can run towards it once you've blown this thing up?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that part of the plan. I got too excited by the prospect of explosions.
How far can you sense your weaves, Amena?
I think I can sense them
60 feet.
It's about 60-ish feet or so, approximately.
Which looks about the distance from where we are to the other door. Is
So
that right?
convenient, but yes, true.
So convenient.
Yeah.
So we could all retreat down the passage towards the other door, and then as soon as Pimur blows the hinges, we just quickly retreat behind it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sweet.
Cool.
Alright, so you guys scoot. I'll stay up here so I can line of sight to this thing.
Yeah.
How do I want to do this? Because I could just I have to get the bear to start moving. So is the door attached to the wooden posts?
Yes.
In the wall? Okay. So, I'm just trying to think of how obnoxious I can make this. Probably can't make it that obnoxious.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
So, the door's open. The bear just needs the frame out of the way. Can I just, make the hinges really, really, really hot and then, maybe blast it with air so that way it catches the door frame on fire?
I like where your head's at. Roll me a perception check. Or investigation. Well, this is specific. We'll do investigation.
Okay. And ignore that roll. Oh. Sadness. Well, my investigation was a 12. My perception that you didn't want was a 20. So 12.
You're not sure that the timbers would catch. It's sort of musty down here, and the timbers aren't dry enough to probably catch. You're on the right track. If you do... Honestly, I'll give you the 20 perception too, because there's nothing else going on. Even if you weaken the door, big fucking bear. He might just be able to shove his way out.
But we want to motivate him to shove his way out.
Well, we left a trail of food.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right, then I guess I'm going to attempt to superheat the hinges of the door and then maybe yank on it with a bit of air to pull it loose from the weakened metal.
Okay, so go ahead and give me 2 Arcana checks.
Okay. 16 and 15.
Okay, so you're fine throws of fire, and you're still kind of sloppy, so it's basically trying to, use MS Paint to burn something, so there's scorch marks on the door, it kind of goes all over you, but you get it, it superheats, and then it's just a quick tug, and the big, heavy door does come off its hinges and kind of just fall against the side of the cavern right there.
So with that, then I'm going to scoot back down the passage.
You might want to pull Lance with you. He's...
Yes, and encourage Lance to come with me. So we're backing up, seeing what's happening.
I'm just looking at all of these things happening and the power is so freaking cool.
Dude, I know, right?
It's so cool.
Can I learn to channel?
No. I would trade you if I could, but we can't.
So, I'm just trying to get this correct now. The bear, you want to go outside. So you are trying to encourage it to run down south through this passage, down essentially through where you guys are right now, and then out the front.
Yes, and we're now going to be scurrying behind this next door and barring it just in case the bear goes the wrong way.
Got it. Okay.
To the southern door. We're going behind the southern door.
Yes.
And are you just picking up the timbers that you see along the walls and trying to brace it, or are you just holding against it, or how are you bracing the door?
I'll throw my axe, sort of like imagine Helm's Deep, Lord of the Rings, barring the
Got it.
door with my
Okay.
axe.
Perfect. Okay.
Nice.
The only thing left to do is for Amena to drop her weave.
Yeah.
Gone.
Okay. Let me see what the bear's gonna do.
Got this all scripted, right?
Okay. So you hear loud roaring as thunk, and then you hear,
Hungry bear.
and then you hear thud, 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 and you think you hear it run outside.
Awesome.
Wow,
Yes.
Amena. I think it worked. Holy
Well
shit.
done.
Never in a million flaming years did I think that was going to happen, but that did happen.
I look round and say, we did a good deed.
We did
If nothing
indeed,
else
sir.
happens,
So,
Yes, and I reach out my hand to shake your giant ogier hand. Well done, sir.
when we get back to town, you guys need to make sure to tell the Children of the Light that I was here and helped. No, really, like, we're trying to expand on everyone's knowledge of the children, and I have to explain why I didn't take my rounds.
Sure,
Okay.
I'll make excuses
we'll
for you.
stick up. We'll stick
Not
up.
excuses, I need facts.
We'll make up facts for you.
The Children of the Light don't lie.
I'm not a child.
Well, this Child of the Light doesn't lie.
Yeah, that's what we're here for. We'll lie for you. At least, oh no, yeah, we'll never take the oaths. Ha! I like being a new age as today.
And I'm certainly looking at Amena and Pimur with a lot more with new eyes and thinking they are not just novices. They're skilled with the Wampa.
If only you knew how unskilled we really are.
Hey, listen, don't sell us short.
I'm just. All right. So, moving on. Now that we have disarmed the bear trap, can we maybe pick a new passage? Okay, back to the dog trail. Back to the dog paw prints. Lance, with that glowy sort of awesomeness, where did the dog prints lead?
I'm gonna click the buttons that say Perception 21. Where are my dog prints going?
Your dog prints, so the bear was trapped up here. The dog prints continue further down the passage that you did not take.
So the bear was to the north, the dog prints go to the passage at southeast.
Yes. And it kind of dips right there around the corner and continues on.
Do. I'm gonna go around the corner.
I follow Lance.
Alrighty, let me reveal that area for you.
It's so weird hearing Lance and not Ryder.
Yeah.
As you continue down that passageway, you come to another T. To your left, or the north, is another closed door, and the passage continues to your right, where it seems to it gently curves to the southeast.
Where? Oh, perception check. Where do the feet go? 18.
There are more tracks in this part. There are some tracks that go into the door to the north, and there are some tracks that continue down the path.
Which tracks look more fresh, or can I tell that at this point?
You cannot.
Okay, I'm gonna go knock on the door.
Okay. There is no answer.
Nobody's home, Pimur.
Well, open it then. So I walk up and open the door.
Okay. In this particular chamber, you see 2 wheelbarrows and an empty box, and there is a burlap sack in one of the wheelbarrows.
Okay, I'm gonna go over and look at what's in it.
You find 10 fist-sized chunks of gold ore worth 15 gold each.
Oh, that's nice. And that was all. There was just the wheelbarrow with that sack.
Yes.
Okay. And there's no like mining tools or anything like that.
Not in this room, no.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna grab that because gold, shiny.
Do you want to pass that over to me, along with the other gold?
I mean, yeah, you're big and strong. Sure, you can carry it. All right. So then leave that room and start heading down the passage to the south.
Once again, this passage splits, but it makes sort of a Y. The passage that goes south bends gently and then comes to a door that is currently closed. The other passage continues to the southeast, and you can just barely make out what look like the beginnings of steps that seem to go up.
Huh. Any change in the tracks that we're seeing in front of us under our feet?
No change.
Like down either passage is the same.
It looks like you're getting into a much more heavily trafficked area of the mine, so it's going to start to be harder to pick out individual tracks.
What do you think, guys? Door or stairs?
Well, I just adore working with you guys.
No.
Oh my god.
All right, door it is. Take door number pun. So yeah, I want to go up to it and look at it, listen at it. I guess knock on it because we're being polite with our pillaging.
Nobody answers.
All right, so I open it.
Scattered about this particular cavern are pickaxes, shovels, and other mining tools.
Do they look rusted or recently used?
Go ahead and give me a perception check.
18.
They aren't rusted. They do look fairly recently used.
Is someone trying to build up funds to... I don't know what they would be doing. But
Warmonger?
yeah.
I'm going to continue on further into the room.
There just continues to be a scattering of barrels and shovels and troughs and like mining pans, prospecting pans.
Okay. And I see there's a path that leads off farther south and a path that goes off east.
So where you're at in the chamber, you are facing west. There's a passage to your left that goes south. There is a door to your right in the north, and there is a door behind you that goes further east.
Okay. You guys like coming, or am I just gonna, it's fine.
No, we're coming.
Well,
I'm just making sure nothing sneaks up behind us because we're taking one path and leaving tons behind us.
Yeah, I'm coming. Don't you worry.
I think I'm also going to just look at Amena and ask, is what we see legal? Do you know anything about the laws in this land governing prospecting by what appears to be a major noble faction in Kandor?
Well, all that I know is you can't mine on land that isn't yours unless you have permission from whoever does own that land.
This operation doesn't look legitimate to me.
I agree. I don't think it's legitimate either.
Yeah.
Continue to explore and get as much evidence as we can.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for the path to the south.
It just continues to curve. You're gonna keep going?
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep going.
I'm going to. Is there any equipment lying around that is fairly small, and I might take just as a sample of this is what we found?
There's looks like trowels and, like I said, prospecting pans and other small things that wouldn't be difficult to pick up and stow.
I'll take one of those and put it in the satchel that we have the gold in.
Okay.
I'm kind of like, as I'm standing here looking around, I sort of think maybe I see around the corner there another door.
Ah, yes, you do.
So I'm going to go check that out.
Okay. It is another door similar to all the other ones you've seen so far, and it is also closed.
Are there any locks or any noises or anything coming from behind the door?
Roll me a perception check.
A 3.
Nope, nothing you can hear.
Looks good. Let's go.
Oh, what? We're going somewhere else? Okay. I come rushing back. Doesn't seem to be anything down that way, so whatever.
Yeah, there's a door here. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't go through it. What do you think?
I think you should step back and let me go first.
Okay. I mean, do you want to check it out too, just to kind of make sure? I'm kind of tired from all that weaving.
Yeah, I'm sure it's fine. I'll just open it.
Okay.
All these easy doors, my confidence is high. We're
I can
fine.
see that.
This is the door that the real bear is behind. No. Yeah. Let's see if we can manage to get ourselves killed before the end of the night.
Yeah, well, I just rolled a nat 1 basically, so.
So this room just appears to be more storage, but there are also sleeping rolls.
Oh.
For about how many people?
You count 12.
Oh.
And are they like set up? Like, is this the bedroom area, or is it like their packs ready to go?
They are laid out like they would be sleep. Like they're basically out and rolled out and prepared for somebody to sleep.
And we only saw 2 people so far.
Yeah. Should we check out the bedrolls, see if there's anything inside them?
That's a good idea. Any of those insignia of horses and things like that.
All right, so I'm going to roll an investigation.
Yep.
12.
You find 12 copper,
Okay.
a small belt knife,
Okay.
and a stinky pair of men's socks.
Ew, dude. Is there anything on the socks that might indicate to whom they belong?
They are heavy woolen socks, very suitable for cold weather.
Are they stout Two Rivers?
Probably not, although there's probably a cottage industry of good stout Two Rivers, It's probably just a 2 and an R stylized. Someone's that's a brand at some point. Someone's doing that.
Well, I mean, yeah, with an Ineva's cream. Yeah, totally.
Do the bedrolls look like they are? Are they all matching in appearance? Do they look like a military type operation or just regular sleeping?
They are very well kept, and they are very uniform in appearance, and they are in tight rows.
Oh.
Right.
This is not a random gang of brigands. This has organization.
No. Lance has more experience with this. Military operation, do you think?
Mercenaries, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
I want to keep going down the passage. Or is that just a wall that's cut off? This room has no... Does this room have other entrances?
So the one that's in front of you, and that's it.
Okay. So this is boring.
So there's a passage that goes... Oh, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no,
Gotcha.
Yeah, my mistake. Yeah, so it does continue to the east.
Okay, I'm going to continue to the east, because it's just beds, whatever. So I get to an intersection in the path.
Yes, and it loops around. Again, the path kind of curves back up north, or there's a path directly to your east.
Anything to distinguish them from each other? Sounds, footprints, scratches on the wall, anything?
Not really.
No.
The one to your east looks like it opens up into a bigger passage, but you're not sure where the one to the north goes.
I'll take a few steps up the north passage. It's a very narrow passage.
At the end of this passage, it does dead end. You see a corpse.
Oh.
Someone in ragged clothing is slumped up against the wall with a spear through their torso.
Oh. Like, how long have they been dead? Like, days or years?
That's going to be a medicine check.
Because that's slightly startling. I got a 6. He's dead, and I didn't kill him. Gosh darn it.
He's not a skeleton, but he is...
Okay.
There is rigor. He is puffy and discolored, and there is fluid coming from orifices.
Gross.
Okay. So he's been dead for a little bit, but he's not a skeleton. He's not an ancient dead person. He's a relatively recently dead person.
Can we tell what nationality he is?
At this point, you cannot tell. The skin is graying and breaking apart in some places, and you're able to tell that it is a male beyond that.
Okay, so what about like insignia or gear or anything on him?
Rough homespun, hair falling out but kind of pulled back behind him, and what looks like used to be the beginnings of a mustache.
Okay. Can I like search him to see if there's anything in his pockets?
That's an investigation check.
Investigation. 24.
What?
It's hard for you because as you're reaching in the pockets, it's sort of gooping into his clothes. And as you're kind of like searching through his individual things, you don't find anything useful except just gross.
Well, I regret that decision deeply. I will probably need to like actually take like more than one bath this month to deal with the stench of that. So, moving on.
All right. As you turn around and you start to make your way down the other passage, Lance, are you following along with the group?
Have I noticed any sounds or anything coming from behind us the way we've come?
No, you have not.
Then I would be following the group. Hearing them be really upset about how things are smelling and whatnot, I would walk back towards the door, though.
Okay. And Pimur and Amena, as you turn around, you hear a very distinctive click.
Uh-oh.
And as you look down the passageway, you see a group of men standing there, 3 of whom have pistols out, and the one in the back just goes, "Right then, who the bloody blazes are you?"
And that is where we close the book for now. Come join us next time on Just Roll With It.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Are you enjoying Just Roll With It? Do you want to keep up with all of the shenanigans and updates and maybe interact with us online? Follow us on Twitter at just_roll or Instagram at Just Roll With It Podcast with underscores between each word. Are you interested in maybe earning cool gaming dice or other awesome perks? Our Patreon is patreon.com/JRWI. We use Sirenscape for all of our sound effects and are a production of Fox and Raven Media.